And welcome to How to Be a Money Magpie, the podcast from MoneyMagpie.com. I'm Jasmine Birtles, the founder of MoneyMagpie, and this podcast series looks at all sorts of aspects of money, from investing to cryptocurrencies to making money on the side and having a good holiday. And today we're looking at a subject that I'm covering more and more at the moment, and that is gold. Investing in gold, investing also in silver, and investing in what are called the money metals generally. It's not something I used to be interested in, but right now, with so much uncertainty, the devaluation of all the main currencies, dollars, pounds, euros, gold in particular is looking very attractive, frankly. So to help me look at easy and safe ways to invest in gold and other metals, I'm joined by Karina Hicks from the Royal Mint. Hello, Karina.
Hi, Jasmine, and thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Well, it's really good to have you, Karina, because there are quite a lot of questions to ask about gold, silver, platinum, etc. So let's start with the question of why. Why is gold, silver, and platinum, but gold particularly, why are they so popular at the moment, do you think, particularly from the Royal Mint's perspective?
Yeah, so there are lots of reasons why people choose to invest in precious metals, and as you say, gold in particular is by far the most popular option of the three metals that you mentioned there. But I think there are three standout reasons for which people tend to turn to gold. And I think the first reason is its liquidity. So the gold market is huge. It's a huge global market. There's a spot price, which is a predetermined price so that people know a fair price for buying and selling their gold. And that just makes it very easy to buy and sell. So liquidity is definitely reason number one. Reason number two, I would say, is the performance of gold. And particularly if you look over the last 20 years, gold has performed exceptionally well. It's actually improved in value by an average of between 10 and 11% for the last 20 years, which is quite phenomenal, really, and certainly outperforms lots of other more traditional investment types. So performance is reason number two. And then the third reason generally is diversification. Mm-hmm. So gold quite often reacts quite differently to other, again, more traditional investment options. So if you take stocks and shares, for example, they tend to perform in line with the economy and the markets, obviously. So when the economy does badly, quite often stocks and shares do badly too. Now, precious metals and gold in particular is different. And in fact, gold tends to perform a lot better in those circumstances when the economy, unfortunately, is going through a bit of a difficult time. So that provides that diversification in a portfolio. If you've got some stocks and shares and they're performing badly, then gold can often be the more safe haven, less risky asset that brings your portfolio up. So I'd say they're the three main reasons, certainly.
Right. Yes, because this is it. You know, I personally always think of gold as you say, a safe haven primarily. So
yes,
particularly with inflation, and you know, we're looking at inflation being high and going higher, I think. So
yes.
do you think that's why gold is looking particularly attractive at the moment?
Yes, I mean, certainly things like inflation, low interest rates, other monetary and fiscal policy, they tend to be huge drivers for the price of gold. And you know, you've said US inflation at the moment is the highest that it's been since 1990. So there's there's no surprise then that the value of gold over the last month has risen by a whopping 7% in 1 month, in direct correlation to that upward trend of inflation. So there's definitely a pattern there. As you see inflation go up, then the value of gold goes up because people are wanting to invest in it.
Right. What about silver and platinum, though? I mean, we are going to talk primarily about gold here, but
Yeah.
I've noticed that the price of silver has gone up a lot. There's all sorts of controversy around silver as well. And then I have friends who go, oh, no, platinum's the one to invest in. Yeah, platinum, not gold and silver.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, silver is also a very popular investment choice, and that's because that too has, this intrinsic value as a finite resource. But as you mentioned there, it can be a lot more volatile. So it's not for the faint-hearted, silver, I would say. You have to, you have to be able to hold strong. If you enjoy trading, if you like the excitement of, trading against market conditions, then silver can be a brilliant option. If you're more looking to invest for the long term, then gold tends to be the more popular option. But of course, silver is much cheaper and much more affordable for many people. So hence it is still a very popular option. And then platinum, I think platinum is only starting to become popular in terms of investment when you compare it to gold and silver. Gold in particular has been an investment option for millennia. Platinum, I think, is starting to become more of an option for people now. It's extremely popular within industry and particularly within automotive, and that's where the majority of demand for platinum comes. It's catching up with gold in terms of the price. It's still quite an expensive metal, but definitely becoming more popular. And of course, it's very beautiful as well. So that's always attractive to many investors too. But gold is still by far the most popular.
So look, in that case, let's go through a few of the ways to invest in gold. And I know that on the Royal Mint, you've got all sorts of ways. So
yes.
What would you say is the easiest way to buy gold?
So this really depends on personal preferences. As you rightly say, we've got a whole range of products available to suit people of different budgets, but also their personal preferences. So there are some people out there who just want to be able to feel and touch their gold. And that's part of the beauty of it, is that it's a tangible asset. You can touch it. It is beautiful to look at. Some people want to be able to look at their gold, and I can't say I blame them, to be honest, especially in the form of some of our beautifully designed coins and bars. They really are wonderful pieces. And also we have the fractional sizes, which is very helpful for especially those entry-level investors. So you can buy now 1/10 of an ounce. We spoke about an ounce earlier. So 1/10 of an ounce coin is a very tiny coin, but you can go all the way up to a 10-ounce coin, which is literally this big and absolutely spectacular. And the same with bars. You can buy a 1 gram bar, which is the size of literally a SIM card in a telephone, or they go right up to 400 ounces, which I certainly wouldn't be able to lift up myself. So they're the physical options. But now we've also got, and this is growing in popularity a great deal, a digital option. And when I say digital, it's because it's managed via an online account, but it is 100% backed by physical gold. And that's our DigiGold offering. And with DigiGold, as I say, you can set up an account and you decide on the monetary value that you want to put in, from a minimum of £25. So it's not determined by the cost of a coin or the cost of a bar. You can say, well, I've got £48 left over that I want to invest. I'm going to invest £48, and we will allocate you a slither of a real gold bar to the value of £48. And that is kept with us within our vault at the Royal Mint. And of course, then people don't have to worry about insurance. They don't have to worry about storage, and they can execute that purchase via a click of a button. So that's popular too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big point actually about storage and insurance, because yeah, as you say, loads of people would love to have an actual sovereign or even a tiny one, but then you've got to put it somewhere. You've got to insure it. You've got to make sure nobody steals it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very tempting to tell people once you've purchased these beautiful products, but I would highly advocate, not doing that and being very careful, certainly looking at your insurance and making sure that you've got safe storage at home. Or as I say, we've also got the vault where you can store your own physical coins and bars too, not just the gold that backs the digital options. So there are lots of options for storage.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if you have, as you say, if it's basically 48 quid or 20 quid or something like that, then DigiGold would be the best, because I'm just thinking about the price of gold today. Obviously it goes up and down all the time, but even your smallest sovereign, your smallest bit of a bar, 1/10 of an ounce would be what, 140 quid, something like that. So,
you're right. Yes, and yeah, that is really the benefit of DigiGold, is you choose the monetary value. It's a very cost-effective way to buy as well. So there are storage fees involved with us storing that physical gold that backs the DigiGold, but they're very, very competitive. So it's definitely a cost-effective way to buy.
And if you do buy physical gold, say one of your lovely sovereigns or bars, do you send them in the post? How do they actually physically get them?
Yes, so it depends on the value of the purchase, but we do have a trusted list of couriers that we use. Everything that we post out is fully insured until it reaches the customer's home. But yeah, there's a courier service, and then for orders over a certain value, we actually do offer a free of charge, but for certain values, but also a paid for option of a white glove kind of service delivered directly from our vault via our security staff to your home. So there's that option too for higher value purchases.
Nice. And is there a tax advantage to owning gold? Maybe physical gold v digital gold? I mean, I'm assuming just gold generally.
Yeah, so there are tax advantages linked to gold. As you mentioned, they're slightly different depending on your option of product and how you've decided to purchase. So in the UK, the bullion coins, and again, you've talked about the sovereign, our very iconic bullion coin. It's known globally as the chief coin of the world because it's the oldest coin in production in the world, which is fantastic and still in production today. And then we've got the Britannia, a very iconic British Royal Mint design, absolutely beautiful design, and a whole host of other bullion coins, but they're my favorites. So those coins come with the benefit of capital gains tax exemption for UK residents because they're actually classed as legal tender because they've got the Queen's effigy on the back. So there's a benefit there. And then all investment gold, and that's the coins, the bars, and then the physically backed digital, all investment gold is VAT free for non-registered individuals too.
Okay. And I've heard that DigiGold is particularly popular with young investors. Is that true?
That's absolutely true. So DigiGold over the past, I would say 2 years, has absolutely soared in popularity. And when we've done the analysis and looked at what's driving that, there is a huge momentum and a huge demand coming from younger investors, which is literally music to our ears, really. And we think is linked to the cryptocurrency phenomena too. So people, again, looking for maybe a bit of a less risky option to support their portfolio if they've got some of the more volatile options in there already. But DigiGold certainly has hit a chord with millennials. We've had an absolutely staggering 435% increase in the number of younger, well, millennial investors coming to us in the last 12 to 18 months, and that is driven by DigiGold.
I can imagine. So we were talking about younger investors. Let's go even younger. Is gold a good investment for children? Again, I'm guessing there's some kind of tax advantage for them, and I don't know. What would you say?
So the tax advantages are, as we discussed earlier, in terms of the CGT exemption and the VAT exemption. But there is a really wonderful, and again, another very popular product that we launched back last year called Little Treasures. And Little Treasures is really designed for parents and grandparents to be able to build a nest egg for their child. And it kind of works in a similar way to other more traditional saving methods. Again, you can choose a monthly amount, be it £25, £50, £100, whatever you want and can afford. You can pay that into your digital Little Treasures account, and on the back of that, we purchase the value of gold, and that, as I mentioned with DigiGold, the same kind of idea. That gold is stored with us within the vault. So you set up the recurring monthly payment. It kind of executes every month. You set it up and leave it, and that is left to build and mature within an account that you can then gift to your child or grandchild once they turn 18, or actually whenever you think that they're ready for it, because you're the account owner. So it's actually up to you when you feel the child is ready to receive that gift, and they can receive it in the form of cash by liquidating the holdings, or they might choose to carry on and open their own DigiGold account and transfer the funds, and then they can continue investing, or they might actually choose to redeem for physical gold coins or bars. So there are options there too.
And finally, can you put gold in any form into a SIP? As far as I know, it can't be in an ISA, or maybe there is a form that it can be.
Not into an ISA, but yes, we've got an offering called Gold for Pensions, and Gold for Pensions actually allows your SIP or also your SAP to hold physical gold within your pension scheme. And again, for UK residents, there is a significant tax relief on purchases of gold through the pension portfolio and the option there. So on our website, we've got a section absolutely dedicated to Gold for Pensions, and contact details for our wealth managers there who can support people through that process too. But again, it's growing in popularity hugely.
So if you've got a SIP already, you can invest in the Gold for Pensions, can you? Or do you have to set up a separate SIP that's just the gold SIP?
Yes, so there are certain SIPs. So on our website, again, there's the list of all the providers that we work with. And you have to go to your provider and they will act on your behalf to integrate Gold for Pension within your portfolio. So they will work directly with us. Once that's all set up, you're fully in control of how much you add or wish to redeem out of that pot at any time.
Great. Thank you so much, Karina. That was really, really helpful. So if you are interested in investing in gold, silver, platinum, go and have a look at the Royal Mint, royalmint.com, and you can find all sorts of things about DigiGold, buying sovereigns, Gold for Pensions, you name it. So that's it for today. Thank you to Karina Hicks from the Royal Mint, and also check out our back catalogue of podcasts. You can see them in the podcast section of MoneyMagpie or on our MoneyMagpie YouTube channel. And then, of course, they're also on your usual podcast provider. Oh, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is, of course, MoneyMagpie, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jasmine and on Instagram at Jasmine Birtles. Today's podcast was brought to you by me, Jasmine Birtles, and the producer was Jenny Birtles.